Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Variety Sports Network production. This is the 7th Inning Stretch.
And welcome to the 7th Inning Stretch. We are back. Josh Edwards with always the classic intro here. He's been doing it for years, and he's still got it. Playing a little injured tonight, but I think he's good at his job. We'll see if we can tell during it. Spot it out. Comment in where he's been. Comment in on it, right, Josh? Spot where he's making it. We're gonna have some fun though tonight. We'll have some fun tonight, though. We're going to get Logan Stone on here in a little bit. We'll get Prime Jordan. It's been a while for him. There's rumors out there that Tyler McGurk might also make an appearance out here as well. And then, of course, we'll have our guy, Brandon Saffel, the CEO here down sometimes popping up here, giving us the stats, giving all the good stuff here on 7th Inning Stretch. So that's what we got in store for you tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe to Variety Sports Network, 7th Inning Stretch. Josh Edwards, let's get into it a little bit here tonight. We have a lot of we got 2 weeks left of baseball. We've been doing the show for a while now. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, let's start with real quick here. Ohtani gets to 48-49. Let's go there with it. He gets 48-49. I know you came on a couple weeks ago and you made some kind of interesting comments, in my opinion, about what he needed to do. And the reason I want to start there with it for a second is because he's at 48-49 now. So he's almost
he's
right.
He's going to do it. It's going to be awesome.
Do it. And so it's crazy to think about a guy that we've talked a lot about on this show, but the reality of us talking about 50-50 is more than likely happening. And it's crazy to think that, and I'm trying to put it in perspective, looking at it like the offense is different now. I don't know. But the pitching's the pitching's great now. Like, so it's crazy to me that he's almost at a milestone that, man, what a significant milestone. 50-50. Incredible.
I mean, it's the only thing he had to, outside of rehabbing his arm, it's the only thing he had to focus on all season.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted the 50-50. If he did anything short of that, I was going to be disappointed. For me, this is like watching McGuire chase 62. This is like Bonds chasing 700. This is that realm for me. I am now impressed. Ohtani has always had my attention. I've always known he's a unicorn. Like, my problem with it is they sold him so high. You want to sell me that high? My bar is going to be that high to be impressed by him. That's always been my measure. So I've tried to stay by that. I said if you went 50-50, you could color me impressed. I'm impressed at this point.
It is. Jordan, when you're joining us live here, 7th Inning Stretch, glad you could be back on the show, my friend. It's been too long. We were just talking about Ohtani getting the 49 stolen bases. I mean, man, 50. We're gonna get into NL Rookie of the Year here. We're gonna get an AL Manager here in just a second. But we wanted to start out there with just an unreal milestone. Your quick thoughts there on Ohtani, sir. Getting to that point there.
the fact that Ohtani's in conversation. But first off, how are you guys doing? Hang on. How are you guys doing?
Good, sir. Doing good. Especially
great. Great. Love
Glad
it.
to be talking baseball with you again. That's the thing. Your game, so let's go.
I haven't been talking baseball in a minute.
So let's get it.
Not even online. Like, I haven't even seen you online talking smack to people.
Yeah. No, I've been trying to keep a little quiet on that.
Tonight we get the smack talking out of Jordan. We get a little bit there. Yeah, but what do you think of Ohtani there, man?
The fact that Ohtani is able to win an MVP and secure it as a DH is absolutely insane, but it's rightfully deserved, truthfully.
Yeah.
Being able to get up to like 50 home runs, probably is going to get to 50 home runs, and then 50 stolen bases is something that most definitely deserves it, because I do remember seeing a quote that Big Papi said.
Yeah.
Where he was like, why was I never in consideration? And I was a DH. All he did was hit home runs, singles, and doubles and got walked. He was zero threat on the base path. And
stolen bases.
No, there's no question. Ohtani deserves it 100%. The fact that we're about to see a 50-50 season is mind-numbing as well. And it's insane.
Yes, Lindor, I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, it is a little chopped liver-ish for me there on that one. Like, I mean, he's been great. The Mets are in it.
Yes, 100%.
I can acknowledge that. I mean, we did a top 10 like shortstop list. I was as disrespectful to be on the podcast to Lindor, and he's proven me wrong since that point. But he's rare, and I love him. But he's not number one. Like, it's 50-50, Logan, right? I mean, that's 50-50. Like Jordan just said it. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Logan Stone joining us tonight. He's back. How you doing, Logan?
I just love how I got in here for 0.5 seconds and we're already talking about Ohtani 50-50. And Josh looks like he's already been so disrespected the entire time
No,
about
but Josh gave some respect to him. He gave a little respect to
You
him.
have to respect
a
it.
little.
You have to.
Well, Jordan, we did a show a couple weeks ago where he wanted 70-70, but he was joking about it. That's what made it funny. And that's why I said the 50-50 out of it. So,
Make
Logan,
it 80-80.
you're joining us a little late with it, but 50, I mean,
Yeah.
you're 48, 49. Is he still there? Did he get to 50 stolen bases? Did I miss it while I'm live here? I mean, it's going to be,
I don't think
it's an all-time season. It's an all-time season he's having.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I kind of think at this point of the season where he's at and how well he's done, should this open up a conversation for what his role? I think the bigger conversation is what his role is as a pitcher now. I think if he is able to do this, I'm not saying every year it's going to be 50-50, but I am saying that at this time, should we be saying, hey, we get the max production out of Shohei with him focusing only on DHing. And if I think he should be pitching. I just don't believe he should be a starter. I don't like Shohei as a starter, honestly.
What? Why not?
Okay, defend that, please.
Yeah, please.
He's just I think he's a better closer / late inning guy. I think
he's never done that though, to be fair, right? Though
he did it in Japan, I believe.
And
okay,
the WBC,
but not in the United
WBC
States.
is the only time he's done it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But to me, I think it's preserving his arm. I think if he's dividing too much time, because whether we like to admit it or not, Shohei is human. And I think him pitching and hitting kind of does take a toll on him. And would you rather have, Shohei Ohtani, who is at 60% in the postseason, where he is, he's DHing every day, but he's pitching, once every 2 days, maybe at 30 pitches, or do you want a Shohei Ohtani who's at 40% during the playoffs when he pitches 100 pitches every 5 days? And so I that's kind of my thought process right now is I think there is a big conversation that needs to be had. And I'm sure that they're having it over at the Dodgers where they say, hey, we need to figure out what his role is as a pitcher. If he's playing outfielder.
I want to counter you with this because I've leaned with you on that before, but closers are not human in some regards. Like what I mean by that is they are dependent on like every day, and like if he has an arm trouble, and then like he misses it, that kind of sets your team back in a different way where it's like, oh, we were depending on this guy to be our ace in the pen, and now he's not there. I'm not saying that. I get what you're saying.
No, I get what you're saying.
That like more of a college role, like you see that in college a lot, where the guy's like hitting, he will sometimes come in for the last thing to throw. I do worry about like the mentality of a closer in that role, and like can Ohtani take that on? Could he eventually get to 3 out of 4 days in a save and hit every day? I mean, I'm not saying he can't do it. It's just that's a totally different mentality than pitching, starting pitching, in my opinion. So I don't know, Josh, you got a thought there?
I do not wholeheartedly disagree with you, Logan, but I think you're wrong. At his age right now, and with the fact that I'm paying this man $700 million for the next 5 years, he's going to go out and start 5 days for me, and he's going to eat 6 innings every time he goes out.
Yeah,
now
that's my reason too.
Maybe in 5 to 7 years, you reduce him to a long relief man or a closer and go that route. But for the first 5 to 7 years of his career, he's my workhorse in every which way because he's the highest paid athlete of all time.
I think that's fair. Jordan, any final thoughts on that before we move on?
That is exactly what I was going to say, because I don't disagree with what Logan's saying about moving him, but you can't just pay guys $70 million a year. I know it's deferred, but you get what I mean. $70 million a year just to be a DH and a reliever,
and do not let him play the outfield.
Exactly, and the thing is with
they want him to. That's the weird thing.
With him pitching, he's still a top 10 pitcher in all of baseball, which is insane. And so you got to take advantage. And obviously, most people that have Tommy John like he did come back stronger pitching. Typically, I'm throwing it typically out. And the likelihood of getting hurt with that same injury are cut down a lot. And so why not get another like 4 or 5 years of starting production out of him?
All right, so Ohtani there, like I said, we're gonna probably get into him the next couple weeks too. At 12 left, we'll probably dive into him even more. He's gonna probably have 50-50, maybe by the end of the is they still playing? I don't know if they're still playing. They might have it by the end of the night.
Game's over.
Right.
He has 48 home runs and 49 stolen bases.
Yeah. They ended up beating the Marlins 8-4 tonight there, so they get the W. All right, I want to get into you guys on NL Rookie of the Year a little bit. I want to kind of have that discussion just a little bit because it's kind of fun for me with those guys there with it. And so the guy, the main guys are Merrill, Imanaga, and Skeens. They've obviously been the big three horses this year, and it's kind of gone up and down a little bit. How they've kind of, I feel like Imanaga was the beginning of the year, Skeens, and then Merrill's kind of been consistent, but made a little late push here to kind of for me is going to be the favorite so far in this. I know Skeens, we've talked about him, Logan, possibly winning an NL site. Yeah, we've kind of mentioned it just as a conversation piece. So if we're talking about that, it's kind of like, well, how's he not winning Rookie of the Year? So like there is both sides, but Merrill is also the betting favorite. I don't know. Let's start with you, Logan Stone. What do you think of the Rookie of the Year here battle?
I think Imanaga pushed to third no matter what. I think he's the third best on this list. I think he would have been higher, but he did have a struggle month. It seemed like a couple of starts where it just wasn't working for him. Man, I don't know. Yeah, Jackson Merrill, he's so good. I saw a thing that said that Jackson Merrill was one of the only Padres to have like he was second. He had the second most home runs in a Padres rookie season, and it was behind Hunter Renfroe. And I think he's kind of underrated in a sense. So yeah, I don't know, because it's kind of one of those things where you have to compare batters to pitchers, and it's like I don't know how to do that sometimes. And
isn't it kind of Logan? Don't you find it kind of crazy that you've been talking about him, and then like, but also we get two comments in where it's like, no question, Merrill, no question. Yeah. And thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate the comments as well. Please, we'll get them up here on the screen as you do. But to that point, before I go to Jordan here, is like, it's Paul Skeens. He's got a 2.07 ERA, and then Imanaga's been unreal. Like, I mean, we're just like, Merrill, no problem. You talk about a good rookie trio. My goodness. I mean, like, this is as good as it gets, Mr. Stone.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's as cut and dry as people are making it. I think Jackson Merrill has been a lot better. But
what would be your order?
Imanaga 3. Oh man, I don't know. Come back to me in a second.
Jordan, let's go to Jordan then. You think about it, Jordan. We'll keep going with it. What do you got here? To me, it's an interesting debate. It's fascinating. I love these type of stuff when we get to this point. Go ahead, Jordan.
This is easily Mason Wynn's award. I'm joking. I will throw in this though, just to do a little Cardinal plug.
Yeah.
He does deserve conversation, but not top 3. But he's been love
good.
And respect. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm joking, by the way. He's not in there. But I honestly think because Jackson Merrill's having a fantastic season, and like Shane said, he's absolutely killing it for the Padres. Being a shortstop, but going into the center field is a big ask because center field and shortstop are two totally different positions. You have to cover significantly more ground in the outfield. He's doing a fantastic job at transitioning to that role. And then Skeens has just been absolutely disgusting ever since he came into the scene. He had like 3 bad games. No, one of those losses, he shut out the Cardinals basically, and the Cardinals ended up winning. But like Skeens has been unreal. He's my favorite for Rookie of the Year personally.
I like that.
I think I have it as Skeens, Jackson, and Imanaga out of those 3 that you're giving me. However, it is like a 1A, 1B type situation where
Could they get Co? I mean, that could be possible.
Oh,
right?
I think co trophies are just another like participation trophy in a way. You know, I don't know. That's just me. I think there should only be one winner for MVP, one winner for Rookie of the Year. Obviously, separating in different leagues, National League and American League. But no, I think Skeens should get it, and then Jackson Merrill at second, and Eminaga at third.
I like that.
I seen that's improper English. I saw Jackson Merrill in Fort Wayne playing for the Tin Caps, and right then and there, that man he's good.
He's a beast.
He's good. 100%.
Brandon, I see you down there with him. I'm going to get Tyler on in just a second here, but what do you got, Brandon, with that?
So to reiterate what Logan was saying about the record, that he just couldn't quite remember what it was because he was close to it. His 24th home run in the Padres 3-2 victory over Houston in the regular season final homestand, by the way. It's a home run that tied Merrill with Nate Colbert, 1969, for the second highest total by a Padres rookie.
Yeah, and he's too shy of So I think Hunter Renfroe had 26, I should say.
Brandon, I like the little Brandon down there. Hello, we got Brandon. We'll get him here once in a while. Our producer down there, Brandon. I don't know if there's Tyler. Can we make big Tyler over there? Or does he still stay little Tyler over there for a little bit? Hey, Skeens is the new DeGrom here by Aaron over there. Merrill, Skeens, Imanaga. Josh, before I get to Mr. McGurk, is joining us as well. What do you got on your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's Jackson Merrill, no doubt, without question. And he gets the bump because Paul Skeens lost 2 times to the Cardinals this year, and they're a 500 team at best. So Jackson Merrill gets it for me. Everyday player. He has had his ups and downs this year, and he has figured it out and come back with a fire at the end of the season. Shota Imanaga, while it is his quote-unquote rookie season, he's an old man. So, in my opinion, he doesn't qualify for the Rookie of the Year. He had a phenomenal season, though,
Joshy Poo,
and he was awesome.
Tyler, what do you make of it there of the Rookie of the Year? Hey, been a while since you joined us as well. That's why we get little Tyler. What do you got for it? What do you got for Rookie of the Year?
I mean, Jackson Merrill. I agree with the last 2 people who spoke.
All right.
Josh, yeah, I think it's Jackson Merrill. He's been spectacular, especially these last couple months. He's carrying the Padres, and they're on fire. I think it's Jackson Merrill.
Carrying him. Wow, I get you though. He's been good. I look at these 3 stats, and even you do add Mason Wynn at this, and that's legit. That's legit rookies though in the National League.
Right.
These are legit rookies. So obviously Imanaga is a little different. He's pushed in Japan there in the future, but those 3 guys at least, that's going to be very interesting where their careers end up here at the end of the day. Logan, you got out there?
Yeah. So I'm looking at it, and not that I'm saying we should compare these 2. But I'm looking for stats that we can compare. And so Paul Skeens has a 5.6 WAR, whereas Jackson Merrill has a 3.9 WAR. Also, Paul Skeens has a 258 FIP, but a 204 ERA plus, whereas Jackson Merrill has a 126 OPS plus. And so, to me, I think it's Paul Skeens. Whenever you just kind of look into it, the WAR kind of sealed it for me. So I'm going Skeens, Merrill, and Imanaga.
So I, even though I picked Skeens, I will back up Jackson Merrill on the WAR category. Again, he's playing a position that he hasn't been playing because he's on the San Diego shortstops. There's like 5 guys that can play shortstop on that team, and they asked him to move over to the center field. And obviously that's a new position and everything. I give him the benefit of the doubt on the WAR category on that standpoint. That's just me though.
I get that.
Imanaga is kind of interesting. He's obviously most of us are voting him 3rd on this.
He's a dog.
But man, he's been really good. He struck out with 11 A's the other day with it. That was his career high with it. So that, to me, that's kind of one of the crazy things about the NL Rookie of the Year. With it, I got this fun little thing for you guys with it before we move on. Who do you guys think top 6 MLB teams who have had the most Rookie of the Year winner. So who has had the most? Who are the six
Dodgers.
most? Dodgers are number one. They have 18. They are number one with the most Rookie of the Year award winners. Can you guys get the other 5? A couple are tied, so that's why we got 6. If you can get the
Yankees.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Yankees are 2 with 9.
I know Cardinals are on the
They're
list.
tied. The Yankees are tied with somebody else with 9 as well.
The Cardinals?
Giants.
Cardinals are not on the list. They're not even in the top
they're
6.
not.
Okay,
Wow,
that's
really?
what I thought. I just had to throw them out there.
Yep.
The Athletics would make sense. The Rockies. No.
A's.
The Rockies are not on there. Nope.
Oh,
Why
Red
do I
Sox.
want to say? Why
Nope.
do I want to say
You said
Pittsburgh?
you said no to the Athletics.
No A's were on there. They're tied for they got they're number 4. They got 8. Tyler, you got one? I got to think.
I mean, let me. I'm trying to think. Where's that camera?
You got Dodgers, Yankees,
Dodgers,
A's so
yeah.
far.
Oh,
There's 3 other teams out there. Come on, gentlemen.
The
I don't think
Angels.
the Giants.
Giants and
Yeah,
Angels
Angels
are not
haven't been
on there.
long enough.
No.
Astros.
The Mets. The Mets.
Nope.
Oh,
Mets-
Mets. There we go.
I'll give you a clue. It's in the
Name
Mets
all 30
division.
teams
It's in
and
the
we'll get
Mets
it.
division. It's in the Mets.
Is it the Braves?
It is
Phillies.
the Braves have 9.
Oh, Braves.
They are
Oh.
tied for the second most with the Yankees
Okay,
with
Braves.
9. And then you have the A's with 8. And you have 2 other teams with 8 as well. They've been around a long time. Those are the 2 teams with
Is
it.
it Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, that division. Then that division, you're already
Cincinnati.
getting hotter. Cincinnati.
It's not
that's 8.
Milwaukee.
Cincinnati has 8. And then there's one more in the AL East that's at 8 as
The
well.
Philly. Oh, AL East. Red
Yeah.
Sox.
Nope. The Red Sox. That's who I would.
Orioles.
Sure.
Should have been the Orioles then.
It's the Orioles. Yep. Those are your 6 teams. A little tougher than you would think. The Dodgers by far 18.
Yeah,
This
that's
is like
crazy.
blow everybody out of the water. Well, what Tyler? What did they have like 4 in a row or something like that?
I
Like,
think they had like 6 or 7.
It was like
like
Todd
Piazza,
Holdsworth. It's like Todd Holdsworth is always the one. Yeah, I remember.
Can't
Nomo.
forget about Jackie.
Caros.
Yeah, Karos and Nomo was in there as well. They were in there. So that was a little harder said than done. Cards shouldn't be spoken of this late in the season. It's like the Cardinals and Giants. We did the show last week. We put those 2 teams, the Giants and the Cardinals, to bed last week. They put that to sleep there with it. Brandon, you got any final thoughts there with it? Are you on the screen there? So I thought maybe you wanted other. All right. Here we go with the.
No, I'm
yeah,
just
go
on
ahead.
the screen because I was adjusting things.
Oh,
He's
gotcha.
playing
All right.
with it.
I was just
All
on
right,
the screen because I was adjusting things. You're good.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to keep it moving here with it. I was going to get into AL Manager of the Year, but we're kind of already 25 into the show, so I want to keep it moving on to other things here with it. Let's go standings check with it. Let's take a look at the standings here. We'll start in the American League here. The Yankees have kind of pulled away a little bit from the Orioles. The Orioles have not been playing very well. The Brewers, they end up clinching their division this year today with the Cubs loss. The Tigers, they're only a game and a half back. Orioles fading, like I mentioned. Braves, are they done? They're starting to pick it up a little bit. Padres, could they steal on a West? A lot of things to go with here, but let's stick with the AL. Jordan, you're the guest here. What kind of sticks out to you first thing when you see that division standings?
I see the White Sox making a big push.
Woo! That a baby. What was the tweet, Brandon, today? What was the tweet we just saw that they put out?
Are you talking about if they lose the next 7 or something like that?
No. It was a tweet by the Chicago White Sox X page that said final. The other team scored more runs than us.
So they're already
I thought
they're getting desperate over there. Our guy Andrew Vaughn, number 18 home runs though, Tyler. We're holding the straw there. What do you think, Jordan? Come on, give me a real take. What do you got?
Yeah. Of course. I was just in a.
I know. I appreciate that as well.
Truthfully, I think the team that people should be scared about in the American League should be between 2 of them, and none of them are first place teams. It should be between the Royals and the Orioles.
Okay.
Main reason for the Royals, their offense is just for one, extremely exciting this year, especially with Bobby Witt just absolutely going bonkers. If it wasn't for Aaron Judge doing his Aaron Judge things, he would be MVP without a question. And then the Orioles, mainly because of their young squad, that's going to probably be their weakness, because going into the playoffs, that's going to be the tough part. Because
and they've been fading, Jordan. They've been fading.
Exactly. but
been fading?
they're
The Orioles.
they're not playing well. They just DFA'd their closer, Craig Kimbrell. And so they're making these DFA moves, which are question marks, but also at the same time, they're the Orioles. They've been hot all season. Yes, they're slowing down a bit, but I do think that they have enough gas in that tank to keep it going in the postseason. I have more faith in the Royals, though.
That's fair.
Yes, Brandon.
And we'll get into Whit there in a second with it. Brandon there, and then we'll get to Tyler. We'll finish up with Logan and Josh on this.
Just Jordan, to finish off your thing there. The Baltimore Orioles have a 26-30 record since the All-Star game.
Not the greatest thing.
Not great. It's not great. But,
Tyler, no, go ahead, Jordan. Finish your thought.
But I will not be surprised if they do turn on the Jets at the right time. That's all I'm going to say.
I will worry about the closer position. We'll talk about that here during Diamond Notes. McGurk, what stands out to you with these standings?
The ultra hot Detroit Tigers. You got the best pitchers.
Unreal.
You got Riley Green,
unreal.
who is an emerging superstar in the middle of your order. And then I just think the Tigers will be a tough out. Casey Mize can get hot. He has the nasty stuff when he's on. It gets cold at times, but I believe in Casey Mize and then Kenta Maeda. I think that's tough three. If they can get into the playoffs, I've seen the 2010 Giants do this. They get hot at the end, they pitch, and they have a couple good hitters who can get clutch hits. The Tigers seem a little scary to me.
I don't know. You might not be able to see the graphic on the screen Brandon got for us here, but like you said, they're 27-15 since August 2nd. They're 6 games over 500. They're right there in the lead with it. I mean, Logan Stone, do you think on Tyler's point, the Tigers? I mean, they're right there in it. They're a half game out, as somebody just said. So they're right there in the hunt. Do you think the Tigers do have a little bit legit shot there?
I was looking at the Twins right now because the Tigers swept the Royals, and the Twins haven't been too great lately, and so I think the Tigers will actually make the playoffs at this point because they're just so hot, and the Twins are playing the Guardians right now. Then they're going into Boston, and then they play Miami, which would be easy, but Baltimore in the last series of the season, and so that's going to be an issue because Baltimore is kind of still fighting for a playoff spot too. So I think the Twins are gonna get kicked out, unfortunately. But the Royals, they need to be careful too because they're 2 games ahead of Detroit. So I mean they could possibly be hitting a snag too. So it kind of puts a smile on my face because I hate the Royals. So
you hate the Royals. It's such a random franchise, Dave. Tyler, that's
no. Like, what did they do? What did they do?
They suck forever.
Tyler,
that White Sox stat, I keep looking at it. Again. That cannot be a real record. 36, 60. My God.
I think the Athletics is more impressive, actually.
The A's have been good. We've been great.
They're not in last place.
We're not in last.
The Angels have been lucky that the White Sox have been so abysmal because the spotlight would have been on them all year.
They would have got bailed out by the Mike Trout injury as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Edwards, are you still there?
I'm here, man.
All right, when you're not on video, when I don't see that beautiful mug, we kind of lose sight once in a while. So I want to make sure when you think of it, what's your thoughts on this American League here?
So considering you take what Jordan and Logan said, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Take what Jordan.
Never been
Logan
more
said.
Beautiful.
Oh, good. I know, man. I got a face for radio. Put what they said and put it together. That's basically what I think. I think Detroit's going to make a run here. They're going to sneak in. They're hot at the right time, or they've been hot. Can they stay hot at the right time, make a run in, and upset their interdivision foe? Or would that be in the second round? But can they get out of the first round and then play the Guardians in the second round and upset them there? That would be a story for me. But the other big story that I'm seeing is I don't think any of us predicted that we were going to have 3 teams out of the AL Central legitimately looking at a playoff position.
Was not on my bingo card.
I was not, no.
So with the fact that we all I think most of us thought it was going to be 2-2-2 or 3.
The fact that the Tigers are better than the Red
way.
Sox surprised me. That's the one.
That's a little
And the Blue
surprising.
Jays. And the Blue Jays.
See, that's the other big disappointment for me. And the Rangers are down there with the Blue Jays. And Seattle could never figure it out. Just what we thought this league was going to be this year, and to see it be something completely different is for me is absolutely insane. I mean, it's been a fantastic year to be a baseball fan and to watch the parity and how the league is changing.
Good.
Yeah, we called.
I think this
Central
American League Central also is a product of the White Sox being 36-116. That is pathetic. I can't emphasize this enough.
Think if even the White Sox had 60 wins.
Record. What was that?
Think if even the White Sox had 60 wins. They'd be one of the best divisions in all of baseball.
Well,
yeah, but the wins would come out of that division. The Guardians, Royals, and
they're not playing each other that much anymore.
Tigers too.
Yeah,
but
they only played 13 times.
I know the schedule is not as lopsided as it once was, but 36 wins.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
I have a question. I have a question for the board.
Okay.
I have a question for the board. So, right now, Kansas City is 4 games behind Baltimore in the AL wild card, right? So Minnesota's tied with Kansas City in that spot. Detroit's a half game out. What's the chances? And this is just what's your thoughts of Kansas City, Minnesota, and Detroit bumping Baltimore out of the playoffs with those struggles Baltimore has been having?
I think Baltimore hangs on. I think if Baltimore would have to really.
Baltimore they have a relatively easy. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
A relatively easy. Well, maybe not. Right now, they're playing the Giants today, and they lost. They got. Oh wait, no. They have one more game with the Giants, and so they've lost the series. They play Detroit this weekend, New York next week, and Minnesota the last season series. So I mean, you know what? Brandon's right. He's that's something that could happen.
If they sweep the Orioles, if they sweep them, right, Logan, then we're
we're in a 4-way.
Yeah, we're right. Whoa, we're on a lot of ways tonight. So we got this. We got a lot of people on tonight too. We got that too with it too going on there.
But Seattle, remember, Seattle is still in this too. They're 2.5 games behind.
They strike out too much,
man. They are
dead.
They don't have enough offense.
They play Texas, Houston, and Oakland, and they're playing the Yankees right now. So
my A's are tough. We're gonna finish strong. We're right there. We're closing out Oakland strong. That's what we're doing. We're closing out Oakland strong.
They're gonna try.
What do you guys think of the National League side of things, real quick, before we get the best record stuff? So I had the Brewers. They do it. Yes, we predicted it, Darren. You got the one right. We got the Brewers there to win that NL Central. They get it done today as well. The Braves. I said, are they done? Well, they've kind of made a little comeback here over the last week. Kind of got themselves back in it with the way they've been playing, but the Mets still have that 2-game lead over them for the final spot. And the Padres are still right there in the West. I mean, they're not like that far behind. There's a chance where, they lose 2, they win 2 right there. You're back in it. So anything, do you guys stand out? McGurk, what do you think of the NL West here? Or not the NL West, the NL in general.
I mean, I think I didn't believe in this team last year when they got in the playoffs and they made it to the World Series. So the Arizona Diamondbacks scare me. Corbin Carroll hit 2 home runs tonight. If he gets hot, like super hot like he was last year, they're going to be a tough out.
Well, he's on his way there already right now.
That's what I'm saying.
He has been a different player the whole second half of the season. If he gets any hotter, they're going to have a run.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Do you still think Edward, you've been harsh on the Mets too. I've liked them to make the playoffs, even though I've been harsh on Lindor since the beginning of the year, but I haven't really thought that was going to be the case given the first 2 months. But do you think the Braves make a little push here to take over the Mets, or do you think the Mets hold on to that final spot?
I'm not going to put anything beyond.
Or do you think the Diamondbacks fall out too, and the Braves take it from the Diamondbacks?
I think the Diamondbacks are too hot to fall out at this point.
It's 80, both 83 and 68, though. The Mets.
I understand. I just think the Diamondbacks have the rhythm right now. They're hot at the right time. They're hot when they need to be. We all know that's what it's about in baseball. But I don't put anything on the Braves because they are the Braves. They've been there before. They know what it takes to win. They could turn it on for a 10-game stretch and go 8-2 and finish out. And they could beat the Mets out, but I think the Mets sneak in. It's possible, though. I'm not saying the Braves are out of it is all I'm getting at.
Your buddy from NASCAR, Mr. Aaron says, "Choose wisely, Josh." So
Even if the Mets
make
get in, they're
smart-
still going to get bounced in the first round.
make smart decisions, Mr. Stone. What do you think there? Then I'll get, or Brandon, what do you got there before you Logan?
I was just gonna relate to, or not relate, but just to talk to Josh about why he thinks, or he says the Diamondbacks are a hot team right now.
They're not.
Nobody in the NL wildcard race right now is a to me considered a hot team. In the last 10, the Padres are 6-4, the Mets are 6-4, the Diamondbacks are 5-5, the Atlanta Braves are 5-5, the St. Louis Cardinals are 5-5. They're the only team in the wild card, which I know they're not in the wild card race, but they're the only team outside of the Mets who have won 3 straight games.
So
Corbin Carroll. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Arizona. He can carry that team. He's hot. He can make it happen.
What do you think, Stone? Then we'll get to Tyler.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting. The whole thing. I thought the Mets were going to fall off. To me, the interesting thing is the Braves just being bad and not really having any real reason. It's kind of interesting. The Max Fried is probably going to walk after this season, so they're going to look a lot different. I still contend that Brian Snitker should be on the hot seat. But yeah, I know no one else agrees with me on that one. So
No, we do not.
But yeah, if I'm the Padres though, I am not going for that. I am not going for that best record in baseball or in the National League. So I still want that. I still want that wild card spot. I'm playing for a wild card spot. That's all I want.
I saw this Bill Belichick football life thing, and he goes over like Edelman returns a kickoff return his first game, and then he goes over to Wes Welker, and he's like, I don't know, you might lose your spot. He's like, oh, you can have it. He's like, way to compete, Welker. Way to compete, you idiot. He's like, way to compete, yeah. What do you think, McGurk? What do you think of that?
I mean, I hope the Braves pass the Mets just for the Mets reaction. The fans, they deserve better. They never get better. The Braves just always seem to break the Mets' hearts.
Could you imagine they're up 2 right now? You're probably
I can imagine.
They're going to win by 1 game. Is that what you're thinking? They're going to win 89 games.
The Mets reaction, the fan reaction would be great.
Oh, Aaron!
Could you imagine that big fat Frank guy on Barstool and his reaction?
Oh my God. Would he go Dolphins reaction on him? Would he go to Dolphins?
Oh, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, no, he's off the charts on it with it. I think there's a lot with it here. Any final thoughts around the board here? On this division, Brandon, you look like you got something there, or Logan, you got something. Go ahead, you, Logan.
Sorry, I just wanted to say quickly on the Cardinals. So, this was supposed to be a better season for the Cardinals, and now we're looking at the Cardinals, and we're trying to figure out: are we going to have the second year in a row where we're under 500?
I don't want to make the playoffs.
You and the Giants are in the same boat. You guys are like, we did that last. You guys are like elite franchises that like to be in the middle right now. It's like that's what you guys like to do right now.
It makes 0 sense.
The Mets are better than you guys. The Padres are better than the Giants. The Diamondbacks are better than the Giants. Like the Brewers are better than the Cardinals. The Cubs are better than the Cardinals. These are franchises that you dominate, and now you guys are behind these franchises. That's the reality of the situation.
How seriously do you guys? Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
Sorry. Technically, the Cardinals jumped the Cubs in the standings tonight.
All right.
Oh gosh,
you kissed your sister. That's
what bugs me about the Cardinals is that they're minus 56 run differential, and they're somehow in second place, above 2 games above 500. That doesn't make any sense to me. But
I truthfully, as a diehard Cardinals fan, do not want the Cardinals in the playoffs.
Good man
at all. I mainly don't want to be in the playoffs for the pure reason to just have. I really want like a protest, but it's not going to happen because people still buy freaking tickets.
That's what I said. Same franchises.
Yeah.
Talking my language right now.
Yeah, I just want I want a complete gutting of everything, but that's never going to happen. But I truthfully think that the Mets are probably going to take the top wild card spot. I think so.
Man,
I know none of you guys believe. Yeah, I think they're going to be the top wild card spot.
That's 100%. I like that call right there. I like that. So it's a day. I mean, I know Aaron's gonna like that. Mr. Aaron's out here. It's gonna like that call. Josh Edwards is gonna love that one. McGurk, I do want to give you just this thought with it before I go to Edwards to finish out this thought of it. you weren't here on the show last week with it, and we did talk about Cardinals Giants with it. You guys mentioned it. Jordan kind of got his thoughts on it. What do you kind of think of, like I said, you guys, the Cardinals and Giants are both kind of in this mediocre point. You look at the NL wildcard standings here. I just mentioned these teams that you guys should dominate or used to dominate or ahead of them. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think you nailed you hit the head on whatever that phrase is. The Giants are just abysmal. I don't since 2014 they've had like 1 year in 2016 where they were good, and then they had the 1 year when they won 107 games and they got bounced in the first round by the Dodgers, and now it's just a mess.
Stupid check swing.
The frickin' GM doesn't do anything. He brings in like 30-year-old rookies who have been for like 2 years. It's just
the West Coast
figure something
Cardinals.
else
I
out.
love
Come
it.
up with a new trick. Try and do something different. It's the same old, and then we sell our fans Mike Yastrzemski as he's an all-star just because his grandpa or whatever the hell hit a home run one time.
Oh, Matt Carpenter. Oh my gosh.
It's a depressing time in the Giants history.
You and the Cardinals.
Wait.
Like I said, you're
Wait. Are the Cardinals and the Giants like separated at birth?
I think they are.
Because you just explained everything that the Cardinals are.
And then the Giants had a decade of luck, like the Cardinals get. They got a decade of luck along the way as well. So you guys get these little like dream scenarios.
We had 1 decade in our whole existence of luck.
It was a good
but
luck.
We did
got 3 World Series. Take that decade when you can get it. Logan, you got a thought there before we move on?
I was just gonna say, I think the Yankees are in that list too. But do you think that the Brewers? I saw someone say that the Brewers.
Did you say the Yankees are on the Cardinals and Giants list?
Yeah, I think they're just kind of mediocre. They have money. That's the difference.
All right, we'll keep going.
Well, we have money. We just don't spend it.
Yeah, same. But what is it? Do you think the Brewers are a real are they a real threat, or are they? I kind of watched a little bit of them and the Phillies last night. And they didn't. I mean, they were good. That Trios guy has been really amazing the last couple. He just had a 2020 season, youngest rookie to do that. I think.
They beat the Phillies tonight 2-1.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if they're a real deal because every year it seems like they are.
I think
amazing,
they are,
and then they get bounced in the first round.
I think they can be a little bit better this year, Logan.
Yeah, I feel different about them this time. I think that they are a true World Series contender for some reason. And I say that, and they'll get knocked out by the Pirates or something in the
Pirates in the
playoffs.
That probably won't happen. The Pirates probably are out of it with that. All right, I want to keep it moving here. Who will finish with the best record? If you had to make a quick guess, who do you think will finish with the best record in Major League Baseball? Is it the Phillies? Okay, so the Phillies.
Give me the Dodgers.
Dodgers finish out with it. What do you think there, Logan?
I say since the Guardians are playing the Cardinals, the Guardians are going to come out of it.
It's a good pick. Except we've been beating the teams we shouldn't be beating and losing to the teams we should have been killing.
We've swept Paul Skeens in every single time he's pitched against the Cardinals. I don't get it. So
he's not nasty. It's because you guys give up 1 run. That's why you guys don't know. It's not like you're giving up any runs against him.
Hey, we still beat him.
You just still beat him. Tyler, you think it's the Phillies too, or somebody else?
Yeah, I got the Phillies. They got off to such a torrid start. I just don't think they'll blow it. I think I got the Phillies.
So on that,
I think the Yankees, both the Yankees and Dodgers have no starting pitching. The fact that they have those records is unbelievable.
Well, when you have Ohtani,
we can do anything. 50-50.
This is true.
Brandon, on that note, where we get this graphic up, if we get to the playoff version of it, like because of best record, you guys have already kind of mentioned about, well, sometimes it's not great to finish with it. I kind of want to, like, these are the standings right now with it. I kind of want to have a conversation about like dream playoff matchups. And, obviously this is the reality of what might happen, but like there's storylines that can make this better than it's not. A World Series, division rounds. Is there ways? Are there matchups you would like to see? I mean, right now this would be fun. KC versus Baltimore. That would be kind of a fun little thing. But Jordan, what do you got? First thing that sticks out.
KC versus the Yankees and Philadelphia versus San Diego. I want both of those matchups.
All right.
Like to have to have Aaron Judge versus Bobby Witt Jr. Number 1 and 2 MVP race and a playoff game, trying to move on to the NLCS if this were to stay how it is. I think that'd be a fire matchup. And then
because we talked about that debate, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson and Witt.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah,
You're right. That
yeah.
would be fun. That's a good call.
Oh shoot. They're playing Kansas City and Baltimore right there. Oh shoot. You see that? It'd be a fire game and then a fire game right after that.
That's why Brandon gets the job done. He gets the graphics up there. He gets it for America to see these.
And then for the Phillies in San Diego, mainly for the fans. Because San Diego fans go crazy and then Philly fans go crazy. It'll just be a fantastic atmosphere.
Over under 3,000 fights at a Padres game. What do you have with that? What do you think, McGurk? What stands out to you at this?
I mean, I think Kansas City, Baltimore is the obvious choice of those ones there. But
Not
the
Twins,
Dodgers, if New York gets through Milwaukee, New York, LA, the media is going to slurp them up. And it'd just be like, it would be a big event. And like LA and New York when playoffs, when it gets down, they show up and it gets exciting.
Man, even with that Mets team, you wouldn't rather see the Brewers though against the Dodgers? Or you just the
I have
media,
no
right?
interest in watching the Brewers outside of Torino's. Like outside of that, I don't. There's
What do you
nothing riveting about the Brewers.
What do you think, Logan?
I think it's going to be an awesome playoffs with the ending with the Yankees-Phillies World Series. So,
Is there a
gonna
dream
win? I have no
scenario you
idea.
would like to see before that? Like I look
Dream-
at
oh, before
at
that?
Phillies, Padres. That would be
okay. Yeah,
that
Phillies
looks
Padres
good
would
to
be
me,
pretty
right?
awesome. I think a Phillies Diamondbacks rematch would be really cool, just because of the pitching that they both have, and the offense that they have. They don't it hasn't been home run central for the Phillies lately. It's been very small ball, and that's how the Diamondbacks really make their living, I should say.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a fun series right there. And I can't live in a world where Mike Schilt is doing better than the Cardinals. So
You can't live in a world with that. What do you think, Edwards? What stands out to you with this?
Well, I want to see KC San Diego in the World Series.
That'd be the lowest rated World Series of all time, right?
That would be a horrible World Series.
It'd have to be lowest rated of all time.
I think it would be very interesting for baseball. For traditional baseball fans, I think it'd be a good World Series.
What makes it
That's just
traditional
me.
about?
Why would it
because
be
the
good?
Yankees
I think
are
it'd be
better.
more old school baseball, and it wouldn't just be home runs. And
nothing makes me think of
You know what?
tradition
Home
more
runs?
like San Diego and Kansas City.
Hey, I like the strange ones. I
The
mean,
long ball is amazing.
He liked Texas, Arizona last year, apparently.
and I
Well,
would-
you can't be
I
rooting
enjoyed
for
it.
Fernando Tatis
I got
I
it.
enjoyed it.
Steroids.
Josh. So the reason why I forget the Royals won a World Series less than 10 years ago
Yeah.
or so is because I completely forgot they're even in the World Series.
Yeah, same.
They made it 2 straight years.
Let's say they
Yeah.
went 2 years back to back.
Yeah, I remember
They-
2014. That was a
Tyler
good
remembers that one very well, I'm sure.
They had a fallout. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Pablo-
Stop that.
one. Barry Zito game 6 in the series before.
Against the
No,
else
it's
like to see
Ishikawa
Arizona,
that
Cleveland?
killed me in
I think
you guys-
2014.
I have a dream World Series that I would like
Let
to
me
see.
give
and I would
it to
like
me.
to see-
Give it to us, Brandon.
I would like to see the Padres and the Yankees because I think there's a lot of storylines to that right off the bat.
The rematch from
That'd be a
98.
fire one.
That's a good one. I like that one. I have no problem with that one. I really think go ahead, Jordan.
Dodgers and I never gave my post. My
Yeah.
World
Go
Series
ahead.
once.
Yeah.
Dodgers and Yankees. Why not?
That
No.
would be. That'd be
Oh, I would
electric.
love that.
It'd be electric. I'm not with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, yes, there'd be a lot of people that'd be like, "Oh, these two markets." I get
It'd
it.
be so much fun.
But I'm with you.
course.
You have Ohtani versus Judge. I mean, this would be the year to have it,
Dude.
right?
And
That-
it'd be amazing.
Soto.
That
We don't want
would
to forget
send a
about
message.
Logan's boyfriend Soto. We got to get that guy out
And
there
then,
too.
and then
we gotta
Mookie
get
Betts. Mookie
Hey,
Betts. and
there's
then
a
Freddie
reason why I
Freeman.
said Yankees versus Phillies. We got my boy Soto and my boy Turner. So
You got both.
Oh
your
yeah,
boys.
you love Trey Turner, don't you?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
let my
I'm
little
looking at that. I
Japanese
just
look-
know the most disgusting World Series would be LA versus Houston. Like watching, I wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
I refuse to watch one game without World Series.
L, you would
I'm
not watch
watching.
Ohtani play. I mean, what? Why would
Well,
you?
maybe
watch
I'd
him play?
watch. Maybe I'd watch a little bit for Ohtani, but
I,
just,
I think America's over Houston, right? Is that
Any
what-
World Series with Houston in it would be awful.
Susie
I
would
think
disagree.
we can all agree though that
Susie would disagree. Go ahead, Logan. What do you got?
I can't even remember now, but I think it was a dig at Houston. Or no, it was LA. I think we were all saying we can all agree that the cheating scandal wasn't so bad when it was against LA. So
I find it fascinating. None of us said the Guardians. I wonder if it'd be different if they were.
That was my second one.
They haven't won the World Series in the longest time here, so it is. It's fascinating. We kind of we don't believe in Stephen Moot, but like it is part of it. We haven't said the Guardians in this area. Nobody's mentioned them one time. That's the one team. Obviously, nobody wants to see. Guardians, Arizona. That might be the second one nobody wants to see. Guardians, Arizona. That might be tough.
No. How about this? Minnesota versus the Brewers.
Ooh, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
The Guardians haven't won a World Series since 1948.
They have the longest record.
Technically,
right?
the Guardians have never won a World Series.
Yeah.
Well, Guardians/Indians then.
Yeah, they haven't won one. They were the longest one. That's when the Cubs played them. It was such a big deal. It was like one of these franchises are gonna break it here. So yeah, so these are the standings with it. Like I said, those are some dream matches. I think the Phillies Yankees is to me Yankees Dodgers would actually be the most intriguing because of the fact you have Tony Judge. And there is something for me that I wouldn't mind seeing this year. I know from a big elitist status, we don't want to see these teams. I know Tyler hates the Dodgers, but I mean, these are the guys playing the best this year. I still wouldn't mind seeing it in a World Series. So
I want Ohtani to win one.
The two worst starting staffs can't make the World Series. The four big.
Well, that's a whole different story. I mean, they still got they got that's what Logan brought up is when we were texting. He's like, do they have enough pitching to even get to these points? I don't know. I don't think LA. I think
LA is.
They're in trouble.
I think. Oh, really?
I think they'll get bounced in the first round. LA,
like they always do. Is that what you're kind of leaning towards there?
No. I just think that the pitching is going to bite them in the butt. I think. I think they'll lose to the Brewers, and it'll be Phillies Brewers. And I think the Yankees are going to get bounced against the Guardians. So maybe.
Fair enough.
Well, maybe not. The Yankees actually do have a legitimate shot now that I think about it.
Brandon,
if the Cardinals don't make the playoffs, which again I hope they don't,
they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah.
Sleep well. They're not making the
playoffs. They're not making the playoffs. The team I'm pulling out of this whole entire group is between two, Dodgers and then Orioles.
Orioles, I wouldn't. Nobody. I'm not going to hate the Orioles if they make it this year. I'm not going to.
No. Those are the two teams I'm rooting for.
All right, yeah, I like that. I like that first round matchup. If we get that too, KC versus Baltimore, that one I'm a big fan of. If we can get that with it. All right, Peter Gammons here style. Let's get it up.
So we're putting money on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but are we putting money on Kansas City versus Arizona yet, or are we going to wait on that one?
No. We're not putting Kansas City on Arizona. Nobody. I think Arizona. I think what we've established here is we don't want Arizona. I think we've established we don't want Houston in the. Susie, you're out there. You're not in the comments, so we can go off on them a little bit tonight with it. Brandon, I want to shout you out for the graphic. I love that graphic. We'll be probably using it every week here for the rest of the time here on seventh inning. So well done that with it. All right, Diamond Notes, a version of the show here. Let's get it. All right, I got a few up on the bottom here. You'll see it up there with it as I remove the graphic here at the standings with it. All right, so Diamond Notes version of it. I got Altuve. Altuve toss his shoe he gets tossed for removing his shoe. He gets that up on I'll get that up on the stage here as we talk about it. Craig Krimble's designated for assignment. Arise on the Padres. He actually strikes out for the first time in 141 at bats. We talked
the guy sucks.
We talked about Bobby Witt here a lot. He also the first shortstop with 2 30 seasons. I want to get Altuve just kind of up here on it. It's kind of funny with it. We'll get the whole thing. I'll kind of skip through it. Here we go.
And hits Altuve's foot. They're going to say fair ball. Brendan Miller's going to say that ball didn't hit Altuve, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. Brendan Miller is not ingratiating himself to Astros players, coaches, or manager.
You got to ask for help.
You got to check with other umpires to see if it did hit Altuve.
Altuve needs to be pulled out of the situation. They need to keep him in this game.
They're going to say that's a fair ball, and it did not hit Altuve in the end of the inning. Josh Hader taking the mound here for the bottom half of the ninth inning. Altuve showing where it hit his foot, and now he's ejected.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
So he decided to go, I guess, Patrick Beverly, Lakers style, showing the referee the camera of the foul with it. So he decides to go there with it. Josh Edwards, what did you think of that? Did you see that before?
No, I had not seen that until this, and I think the broadcaster was right. You got to use your other umpires. You can't always see everything, and to make a call like that, I just, yeah.
He took a sock off. He took a shoe off. Seems a little unnecessary.
Still, I mean, come on.
I don't know. It seems ridiculous, Bigger.
I'm just wanting to be the show.
No, I don't side with that. Well, actually, I do. I don't mind the Astros as much as you guys. I don't
either.
He deserves to get ejected. He took off his sock and shoe and definitely disrupted the game. But I don't mind what he did. If you got hit on the foot in the bottom of the ninth with the guy in running scoring position and with a runner in scoring position, I'd be upset too. And I don't fault him for showing his emotion in that way. Especially if he's right. I don't know what the real outcome was if it did hit his foot. I'm assuming it did with that reaction. But yeah, I don't fault him.
Taking his shoe off, he better be right. He better be right.
He had to be right. That's what I'm saying.
You better be right on that one. I hear you.
Well, there was a.
You go, Logan. You go.
There was. Hold on one second.
Are you thinking about it?
Stern talking, dude.
Is he getting? Yep.
He's getting his insider information.
Jordan, what do you got?
Again,
Stop it, Bobby! Stop
it! I don't really. Mom, meatloaf. Mom, meatloaf.
It's pumpernickel.
Go ahead, Jordan. What do you got?
I also don't have anything against the Astros. I don't hate them. I enjoy watching them play sometimes, but no. Again, with the other two answers, I truthfully think that in that kind of situation, you need to ask for assistance and make sure that they got a good look. Because if they said he was that the ball didn't hit him, then sure, then he has no reason to complain about it. But if they said he was out, safe I'm at, then he gets another go at it. Yeah, I think it was more so like the just wanted to get it over with.
I like how the announcer was even like, "Get the guy out of here!" You can tell,
right. We need him.
Already tell him something.
But he should have been tossed for taking his shoe off though.
I hope so. I have acne. What are we doing here? I have acne. What do you think, Logan? Final thoughts before I move on to the bonanza part here.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say earlier that so he got he had something similar happen to him a couple of weeks ago.
He did.
I think it was with the Mariners. And he was fighting and saying "Hey, it hit my foot. It hit my foot. It's a foul ball." And he didn't even run to first. But and so I think it's just a struggle he's been having with that because I don't know if it's the way that he.
I think he's
hits,
short.
If it's is he short? But I think that I'm curious to see if I'm curious to know if it's something with his batting stance where he hits it and it just automatic. It seems like it happens a lot with him. So
it does. Edwards, I want to get this thought on you before we move on to Bonanza. I'm assuming you're probably in tears because of your old school baseball mind. 141 strikeouts. Does that give you? Is he off the show here? Is Edwards gone? Edwards. All right. What do you think of the 141 here?
I think it's amazing.
It's amazing.
You're talking about Rise, right?
Yeah.
41. I think that's without striking out.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's phenomenal.
Goes hard.
Logan likes to say that Soto has the best plate vision in the league. I would say that Arise is rivaling that at this point.
I mean, he at least has the hand-eye coordination. We know that part.
Yeah, I mean, because he knows how not to get K'd. So I would say Soto's got a challenge there now.
I agree with it. Brandon, you got any final thoughts before we move on? I thought you maybe you did there. Nope. All right. Bonanza part of the show here. We're in the 8th inning of it. All right. What's the rarest baseball occurrence you've seen in person? If you've been to a game, you might not have one. Maybe it's you bought 2 hot dogs. I don't know what it is. But what you bought, what's the rarest occurrence that you have seen in person? McGurk, do you have one?
Yeah, I saw McGuire hit 3 home runs in '98 when he broke the record in Busch against the Arizona Diamondbacks in I think their first season of existence. So that was probably it was off one of the Benez brothers too, the one who didn't play for the Cardinals.
Not Andy.
Alan, maybe?
Alan, yeah.
Alan Bennis there. What do you got? What do you have with Logan? Do you have one that you've been to?
I saw Aaron Judge hit 62, so the first clean player ever to hit 62. So that's probably the rarest thing I've ever seen. So I thought, oh, I haven't seen anything. Whoa.
Was that in Toronto?
No, it was in Texas.
Texas. Okay, I was trying to think where it was. I thought
he broke the record in Toronto, I think.
Did he get 62?
No, he tied the record in Toronto, and he broke it in Texas.
Gotcha. So that's pretty good.
What record are we talking about? The AL
the guy that's clean that hit home runs.
Yeah, that's an AL record.
We're not going to get into that whole debate today. That's not where we're going to say it. Jordan, what's yours?
Since I haven't gone to a lot of MLB games, I will say a triple play at Parkview Field for the Tin Caps.
Hey, triple play is a triple play. You see,
it was, but it was a goofy one. It was a I want to say, I'm trying to remember it. I was young. It was a ball that the runners thought was going to drop, but a third baseman did a basket catch while doing a little slide, got up, threw it to second, and then threw to first instantly. It was pretty sick, but it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only time that's the rarest occasion I've ever seen.
That's pretty good right there. Triple play is a good one. Edward, do you have one?
It was sick.
So probably the biggest, rarest thing I've seen was Mother's Day. I don't know, it was early 2000s. We went to Cincinnati for Cardinals-Reds series, and the Cardinals were down 8-0 at the end of the second inning and came back and won 10-8.
What year do you think that was around?
I want to say somewhere between 02 and 05.
Oh, when we were relevant.
The good old days. That's where we're
way back in the day when I was a kid.
The good old days with it.
That's the rarest thing I've ever seen was a big comeback. Matheny was still there. So it had to probably be 02 or 03 because Matheny was the starting catcher.
Then he goes to the Giants. I saw the Mike Lieberthal has been able to see a 3-run homer from him. I got to see a Eric Burns cycle with the A's. That was a good one. And then I got to be with my wife and Tyler McGurk at an Oakland A's game, and he grabbed a foul ball. That's also one of the rarest things I've seen. I was with somebody, the guy here on the screen, he got a foul ball. To me, that's a rare thing to see at a baseball game as well. So I've been fortunate to see a few along the way with it. All right, first, let's make this one a little quicker. Jordan, what is the first notable statistic you think of from players in the MLB history that is no longer achievable today? What's like the first stat where you're like, that's never going to happen?
Home runs.
756, never going to happen.
Well, it's
762.
It's Hank Aaron's.
Hank Aaron's. No, it's Bonds. I'm sorry. It is Bonds. That was nowhere. Not going to happen. 755.
But no. Home run's easy. Pujols probably would have broke it if he stayed in St. Louis.
He might have. Then he got low. Yeah. Logan, what's the first one that sticks out to you?
Oh, it's easy. It's the continued game or games started by a player by Cal Ripken. With the way players are right now, there's no way in hell that's going to be broken.
I kind of agree with that. Edwards, what do you think?
Trying to think of something they didn't name. Probably stolen bases in the season.
Ricky Henderson.
118?
No, it's more than that.
No, isn't like 100 and it's more than that, isn't it?
It's 100 and he got 130.
There,
with
okay.
the stolen base rule, I don't know.
130?
That's true.
I don't know, man.
That's a lot of
I mean,
Catchers are a lot
Ellie didn't even get
are a
close
lot
to
better
100
now.
this year.
100.
Hey, Siri,
That's a good one.
how
130.
many stolen bases did Ricky Henderson get in a year?
I just said 130. That's what he got.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I didn't. No, I didn't believe it. That's
He
why.
just fact checked you on air and was busted.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't believe it because it seems so high.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't think that one's gonna get cracked.
130, stupid, bro.
I still think DiMaggio's 56 game is
that's
no chance in hell that ever get touched.
one,
McGurk,
too.
you got one?
You guys are crazy mentioning hitting stat. It's a pitching stat. It has to be like complete games. I don't know it off the top of my head. If we're gonna go with what I know off the top of my head, it'll be.
Well, no, Cy Young is not ever going to touch it.
It's 511 wins by Cy Young. Like it's not happening.
How about
Never.
something a little
Like,
bit
people
more
don't pitch
relevant
that.
that you think of? I guess that one. I guess to me, I kind of
We didn't know stolen bases.
All right, well, give me a different one. Like, okay, other than that pitching one, is stolen bases one because I
Lowest
pitching.
56 games in a row. No one can get 20 nowadays.
Nobody's ever getting. Nobody's ever.
It's
getting,
incredible.
Oh, Susie's in.
I got another one.
Give me one.
Lowest ERA in a given season with Bob Gibson. I believe he had didn't he have a sub 1 or like almost a sub 1 ERA?
112.
Yeah, stupid. Absolutely insane. I don't think that'll get touched.
Those ones are tough to happen as well. Susie,
Pedro
we
came close,
only
right?
gave great compliments to the Astros on this episode, so be sure to go back a lot. John, we did
Hey,
right.
Susie, I'm cool with the Astros. I have no ill will
yeah.
towards the Astros.
We got.
I'm surprised you guys didn't say 400. 400 batting average.
Yeah, that one I still feel like could. Pete Rose's hits one
doable.
is a lot for me. I don't know if somebody could play that long like that and then get that much playing time. I don't know, like be able to be the manager of your team. I don't know if that one seems realistic to me. Breaking Pete Rose's hit streak. Brandon, you got one?
Yeah, I was just kind of curious on like some of the toughest records to break in the MLB. In the first one that popped up was Johnny Vandermeer's back-to-back no-hitters in 1938.
Definitely not getting broken. It could get tied, but not broken. There's no way.
Blanco got close.
Nolan Ryan's record for most career strikeouts, 5,714.
And his 7 no-hitters.
7.
That's
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
And
anything involving Ryan and like Gary Ganruz feels like it never.
Ted Williams' career batting average of 344.
I think that can be broken.
I don't know about that.
People can't even hit 300 anymore.
I said I think it can.
If that's the case, then Ty Cobb's career batting average of 366 isn't going to be touched at all.
No,
I think Tyler brings up the best point. It's like the hitting things are maybe the most realistic, but it doesn't mean it's plausible. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it could actually happen because of that. But Brandon, to your point, when you say those, you got one more there?
No, that's it. That's all.
I think that Nolan Ryan one though is fascinating. Like the 5,000 strikeouts and 7 no hitters. It's just never going to be touched. It's never going to be touched.
The batting average one is not Ty Cobb's though anymore.
No,
it's Josh Gibson's now at 372.
That is fair. We did talk about that, and that is definitely not going to be touched. that is never going to be touched at 372.
And
Tyler
has
brought
the highest OPS at 1.177.
And again, that is never being touched in the history of Major League Baseball again. All right, Tyler McGurk brought this up on Fatboy Fadeaway. I wanted to bring it to you guys. Logan Stone, I want to give you first shot on this one. Thought you'd be the most interested in it. It's Bonanza. Should MLB move to one MVP? So, like, should there be, now that they have like the kind of more of an equal schedule, they have like a little bit more like Ohtani and Judge, would that be more of the battle? Like, do you think that's a good idea, or do you think it should stay NL, AL? What do you think there, Mr. Stone?
MVP, no. But I think they should make another award that is like best player all in MVP or all in MLB. Like
that's the same thing then.
No, because I would like to have the most valuable player be the most valuable player. Doesn't have.
So
to
who
be
would win
best.
the best player this year?
Judge.
There you go. That's what I think. And that's what McGurk was asking is like have the one MVP like the National Football League has like the NBA has.
Ohtani.
Judge would win the best player, but he would not win MVP in my book.
Ohtani is the best player in baseball.
Bobby Witt would win MVP in the AL.
Oh,
and the Judge would
stop it!
No,
Stop
I'm
it,
giving
Josh.
the example. That's what I'm saying. Because
Oh,
Bobby Witt is
okay,
more
okay.
valuable to the Royals than
Sorry.
Judge is to the Yankees.
Come back.
Sorry,
Susie.
sorry,
I
sorry.
disagree.
Okay,
That's not
okay, sorry.
true.
I apologize.
McGurk, do you want to
Apologize for the
kind of
premature?
make your point on this a little bit?
I just say it's the same league now. Like they have the same umps. It's nothing's different other than they play in a league called an AL and a league called the NL. Like there's no change now. Before it was different umps, different set of rules. You never played the NL, never played the AL. The AL never played the NL. So it made sense to have two different MVPs. Now just basically one league. Maybe you play your league a little bit more than another league, but not enough for you to need two separate MVPs. Like the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference has the same weighted schedule basically, and they have one MVP and it's fine, and it makes it more riveting down the stretch instead of having. I guess you have more people involved because you have two different awards, but I think it would mean something more if like Judge was going against Ohtani for the MVP down the stretch these last 2 weeks. That'd be like riveting stuff that could be talked about, like the 98 home run chase. Maybe not to that level, but it'd be more talked about than it is now. So I think just going to one award, not just MVP, I'd do Cy Young, I'd do Rookie of the Year, and just it's one league, it's unified, it's same rules. Why do you need two separate awards?
What did Susie
That's
just
my
say?
argument.
She said, "I need a rookie pitching award. If there's not any good rookie pitchers, don't give it out."
Sounds good to me.
Susie, we did Rookie of the Year earlier. We had our Skeeds, Imanaga, and we had our Merrill debate with it. I just thought it was in it, Tyler. I'd never really kind of thought about that until you kind of brought that up with it. Anybody, Edwards, any final thoughts on that?
He actually makes a good argument. I need to think about it for a little bit.
I need to ponder it. I'll sleep tomorrow.
It's a good argument, Tyler. Like I don't have an
because the NFL and NBA do it, and all these other leagues. He did make a good point in that regard. They all have 30 teams. They all have 30 teams, like you kind of said there, along with it. No separate hitters and pitchers. Yeah, they do that. They do that with Cy Young along the way with that as well. So we have that with it. All right, so that's a bonanza part of it, Tyler. I thought that was kind of interesting. You brought that up. I was like, oh. So that's something that, obviously Mr. Edwards needs a little bit more time on. So you got us thinking about this one along the way. All right. Who am I? We'll go to the MLB trivia part of the show.
We need to have a camera on Josh so that way we know he's not cheating.
I'm not cheating.
I feel like this is easy street, this one. Susie, you're on, so I thought you should have a chance at this one as well, Susie, if you're here with it.
I'm ready.
All right, I played in the MLB from 2010 to 2013, hitting 279 homers and finishing in the top 10 of MVP voting 4 times. So not necessarily a great clue, but at least something out there.
Elvis Andrus.
No, that's not it.
Buster
He retired last year, so it's not a big list.
It's not Buster. Jordan, you got one there or no? Should I hit number 2 here?
Hit me with hit number 2.
Let's see. Hit number 2. I won the MVP once in the AL, as well as a 3-time All-Star and 2-time Silver Slug Award winner. This is before Susie. This is your time. He played in your time. He played at least in the last couple of years. We know that. At least he was there.
So he was an Astro, is what he's saying.
I'm not saying that.
Jose Abreu
is definitely. That's a good guess, but it's not Jose Abreu. That actually is a solid guess. That is actually
2014.
That is a solid guess. I'm not gonna lie.
2010 to 20. Wow.
And in the top 10, like I said, 4 times.
I don't think I'm right because after the second hit, but after the first hit, I wanted to say Hunter Pence, but
it's not Hunter. No. Hunter, I'm a Giants legend. Pence.
Once the second hit came out, I was like, no, that's not. That can't be right.
All right, hit number 3. I think this might give it away for some people on the panel here. I played for 7 MLB teams, starting with the A's and finishing with the Braves.
Oh, Josh Donaldson?
We are correct, sir. That is the answer here. Josh Donaldson. He finished 4 straight years, finished top 10 in the MVP voting for Toronto. Pretty unreal. That's where he was for 4 straight years. Finished 4th, 1st, and 8 and 9 in those sets. So pretty good there. Yes, Logan. Before I get him up on,
can we get extra credit if we name the teams in order?
Go ahead.
Is it Athletics, Blue Jays? Is it Cleveland after that?
Yep.
And then it's Braves.
Yep.
Yankees, Brewers.
Did you get the Twins on there?
I did
You
not.
forgot-
I always
you
forget
forgot
about
the Twins, my man. You
I
forgot about the
forgot the Twins too. I thought you were right.
good guess there. Yes, he was a good player. You do know him, Susie. You do know,
Oh
Mister.
my gosh!
You do know him
Don't
out
do
there.
that, Susie.
You know him out
Susie,
there.
don't.
Still learning.
I get it. He got there. All right, with my A's, obviously leaving
2000.
here, Oakland a little bit. I want to get this play from
If
Josh
you play that
Donaldson.
deck, yeah.
Now, here we go.
Oh,
Ball. Donaldson may have a play here by the top, and he goes to the top, and he caught it. Oh, shit. Sensational play by Donaldson. He fell between the tarp and the padded sidewall, and he held on to it.
Baker was going to tag, but you have to just appreciate the great effort by Josh Donaldson up, over, and in between.
It's as good as it gets playing that position there at third base with the A's. Donaldson, like I told you guys, the last 3 weeks, you're getting a lot of A's highlights here with it. So you're getting to that with it. Donaldson makes it. He's on the trivia with it. Logan, the A's start. Was that the start for you? The A's? Is that the push there that you got?
yeah.
I think he's an underrated player in that era. He really is. I don't know how to describe him.
He's
I'm
been
not saying
forgotten a
he was.
lot.
I don't know. He was a great player for 5-6 years. He was an awesome player for 6 years.
People forget because he's a hothead.
Yeah. No, he really was.
Well, he wasn't really a hothead. He was just.
Oh,
more
he
of
was a hothead.
smartass.
Well, he was both.
Give
I
the
guess,
Manny
but-
Machado
Yeah.
there, the Donaldson here.
The man, no, yeah, that was it. That was Brett Lowry. Actually,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't even Donaldson.
Was
That was it was Brett Lowry losing
it?
his mind. That's the only Jonas, like the one I know, only D-backs mad among. Yeah, you only know so many. You don't know the A's, Oakland A's Susie. He started there with us. We got him in a Rich Harden deal, believe it or not, from the Cubs. That's how we actually got him too. Oakland was from Rich Harden. So there with it. CP tuning in with the Mets. We talked about your Mets earlier. They got there. They're right there in the hunt there along the way. I feel like, Logan, you've brought up Donaldson a few times when we've done this plot. I feel like he's kind of a guy that is right in your era, right? Or no? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, he was Juan Soto before Juan Soto. So, yeah, for me, like, I love Josh Donaldson. I wanted him so bad. And then the Cardinals, I think whenever he was with the –
Say that again?
when he was – I was saying that I love I wanted Josh Donaldson so bad. And I think whenever he was with the – I don't think it was the Blue Jays. I think it was the Twins. Before he got traded to the Braves, they were talking about him being traded to the Cardinals.
LOL.
And I was like, oh, I want you so bad. But it was, yeah, he would have been awesome. But he kind of played himself out too much. Unfortunately, he's remembered right now for his last 5 years, and not really for his prime years.
Well, because sometimes his era was a little different there with it, that 2010 time with it. So he's there with it. All right, so good show here tonight on 7th Inning. We've got a lot going on. We got McGurk joining us. Time spent with Jordan. Hopefully you can join us, both of you, in come playoff time as well. We got Logan Stone here joining us. We got Edwards here in the background as well, kind of powering through as well with it. All right, let me get to our flashback video of the week here.
What a ride! The Cardinals are world champs in 2011.
All right, so this is our one. With 9/11 kind of on the mind, I always go to this.
Lopez wants it away.
And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run by Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
I don't know why, but I always liked Mike Piazza.
Unreal video.
He's like one of those few players that ever played for my team that I always liked.
I love this video. I love that they're always wearing the firefighter and police hats while it's going on. And my dad obviously being a firefighter growing up, this one always kind of like just the time that this happened. Piazza was never one of my favorite players of all time, but I don't know. This video is one I just I don't know. I always, as a kid that was a senior in high school when 9/11 went on, I guess it means a little bit more to me than some, but this was always a special video to me, and I love the reaction of the crowd. Just everything about it for me gives me goosebumps when I see it. Piazza's reaction, just so stoked during the whole damn thing, also for me is just a big deal. CP joining us here is probably a big deal. Jordan, you got something there?
Yeah, I don't remember that play. I only know the flashbacks of it, the highlights.
2001, September 19th. So tomorrow, basically, that's when it happened.
The 21st.
Sorry. What were you saying?
I'll get it up here with it. But what do you think there? Jordan?
That was the game. You said that was the game, the first home game for the Mets after 9/11, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
9/19/2001. So
okay.
Tomorrow.
So I saw something that Chipper Jones, because obviously he was on the team then. He said that home run, basically the whole Braves team didn't really care about the game at that moment, and they knew that they were going to lose. Mainly because that moment was just it was bigger than baseball at that point. Got our minds off of the horrible attack that happened, and then next thing you know, a team from New York hitting a clutch home run, especially Mike Piazza. So I mean, it's a great time.
Brandon.
First thing, Mike Piazza is a GOAT in backyard baseball. His greatest player
Pablo
in backyard
Sanchez.
baseball. Greatest major league professional player when they integrated him to the game. Secondly, there's actually a documentary on the whole just the Mets in 9/11 and whatnot. I don't know if it's on Prime or if it's on HBO Max, but it's a pretty good one. If you haven't seen it yet.
John Franco and Bobby Valentine and all those guys.
It's a good one.
What was backyard baseball? Oh my gosh!
Oh gosh!
Oh,
come on,
Susie.
That was life, Susie. That was the life. They're bringing it back too.
It's coming back. Pablo Sanchez is coming back.
You know what they need to bring back is
World Series baseball.
The big baseball. The one with all the cartoon stuff. Yeah, Slugfest. The one where like you would get into fights or like you could hit people.
You could beam the.
What was that? NFL. What was the one? NFL Blitz is the one I always think of for extreme games like that with it.
NBA Street. Yeah.
That was a big one for me. I'm gonna tell you, in 2001, that was, like I said, being a senior in high school, that was a big deal there with it. Appreciate everybody joining on tonight with it. Susie, CP, you guys tune in. Aaron, everybody, Josh Edwards. I know he had to kind of go. He's been a long day, a long week for Mr. Edwards as well. Appreciate him with it. McGurk, it's been a while. Thank you, sir, for joining us tonight.
Good to be back. Playoffs around the corner. Hopefully I can make a couple more appearances. We'll see. Thanks for having me, though. It's always a good show.
2 weeks of the season left.
I miss you.
Come back on more both together. Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Hard it.
I miss
Logan,
you.
you're back too. Let's go, baby. 2 weeks till playoffs. We got a lot on the line here. 2 weeks stats. This is where like records are made. Let's go. So appreciate you joining 7th Inning Night. Thanks, Logan.
Yeah, no problem. We got to do our draft soon. Oh, I'm sorry. I love you too, Jordan. But you were in my backyard like last week, and you didn't call or text me or anything. You were like, "Oh, I'm in Fort Worth," and then I was like, "Oh,
Sounds
wow,
like a text.
okay. I must have missed my
Sounds
text
like a
messages
text.
here."
I like that. Hey, you're all coming back on the playoffs. We got here in 2 weeks. I'm not just gonna do Wednesday in the playoffs. We're gonna do some reaction shows. Here comes the playoff time as well. Jordan, how we doing there? I'm 40. I'm 40. Are you older than 40? Susie. Let's play to that. I just turned 40. Go ahead,
I'm
Jordan.
pretty sure
Jordan
was
happy birthday.
like -3 whenever
I'm a man. I'm 40.
happened.
I was 3 years old.
3 years old.
You're only
I was literally, it was like 6:47 here. I go to my dad, I think there's like holes in the building. And we go to the bus stop over there. So big day with it, all that with it. So Susie, appreciate you taking that with it. Jordan, appreciate your time. It's been a while. So we do need to make it happen come playoff time for sure.
Yes. Playoff time. I'll make a commitment to trying to get on here a couple times for playoff.
Let's go. Even though your Cardinals aren't in, man.
I'm full on the Dodgers.
Dodgers, Yankees.
Yeah.
We want that.
Full on the Dodgers right now.
Prime Jordan with it. Brandon.
Mookie Betts is my guy. He's my favorite player. I can't help it.
He is a
sorry.
beast. We know that. We do that.
Great.
We go
He's
little
wonderful.
Brandon. We go little Brandon to big Brandon to end the show. Brandon, CEO. Appreciate you tuning with the producer side of it, giving those thoughts with it. Appreciate all those things. Appreciate everybody here that's tuned in with it. Stop it, Jordan. He's got everything with it. Appreciate
if
you,
Mookie Betts
Susie.
wasn't on the Dodgers, I wouldn't be rooting for the Dodgers.
It would not be rooting for that. We know that with it. All right, McGurk, I appreciate you. We'll see you Sunday, Fat Boy. Logan Stone.
No.
Come on, or you're not gonna be this Sunday. We'll see you another one.
Yeah.
Logan Stone, hope to see you next week, baby. Jordan, hope to get you on when we can. Edwards, get well. We won't. We know he's a little chiropractor visit today, so hope he's doing well there with it. 7th inning stretch, 2 weeks left. Baseball season here. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Hey, Park Rock.